The former Minister of Agric of China was found guilty of collecting bribe and awarding contracts, etc., to the tune of about $38 million. What did they do? The most impressive thing about it is that the trial was within 3 months or so. When the gentleman was found guilty, he was sentenced to death. So if you follow the briefing that the Attorney General has been given, a lot of work is going on. Will you ask, are you satisfied? I'll say no, I am not satisfied. Because I can't see the end of the tunnel, not to talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. I can't even see it. I don't even see the end of the tunnel before the light, because I know this may continue until there's a change. In fact, the prayer of the corporates and their lawyers is that there should be a change in government. Then you hear nolli prosequa and etc., and our money is gone. The procedure that Attorney General currently is using is going to be very difficult. 9 months. 9 months is not small, my brother. Before we realize, we have finished the quarter of the term of President Mahama. So I think we have to change the speed at which we are moving, and let people gain the confidence that things are moving and moving very fast. It begs one question. Does it mean they didn't prepare before coming to office? Or they were not ready for winning the election? Because when I look at the quantum of money that we should recover and the speed, the snail speed at which we are moving, I'm like, when are we going to get there? We may not get there. We need to change the legal framework. And let me be blunt here. If government refuses to do these changes, it only tells me that either they are also doing the same thing, they are also stealing, or they have intention of stealing. That is the only motivation which will stop you from doing these things, which brings about quick win.
And that was, for me, even as the host of the show, what took me off. And let me tell you something about my interview style. I don't go and study everything about the interviewer and then wait for them to come and then ask them questions about things I've studied. No, I just ask questions and let them tell me. So when he was coming, I wasn't even expecting Dom Levo to come and tell me that, me too, I'm not feeling it too. I thought he was going to come here and sit down and explain why it looks like things are being slow, but he's actually going to explain the story. But folks, just like you, I was surprised to hear that he too was not feeling it. So all I'm saying is this, people, and I want to send a message to my dear friend, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. You know, I've sat right here and I've said it, and I haven't hidden the fact that if he says he's resetting this country, then I'll do everything in my power, and how many years I have left, I'll do it to support that we reset this country. Because if there's one thing we need in Ghana, I don't want to talk about Africa, let me concentrate on Ghana. If there's one thing we need, is resetting. It's the most important thing that we can do for our nation, for the generations that are coming, for the youth that are out there, you the young ones that are coming up. When we hear resetting, with all respects, me, I thank God for whatever time I've spent, we have done what we can. We won't be here forever. But we are hoping that our children and our children's children will grow up in a country that has a thinking and a mentality that has been reset and is thinking right. And this country will progress like there's no tomorrow. So I said it time and time again that, Mr. President, if your agenda is resetting, you have my backing. It is not a secret that I have decided that this platform, we're going to use it to help back and support the whole agenda to reset. Very, very important. And the resetting is so critical.
We shall reset our dear nation, Ghana.
And one of the things about resetting, folks, is consistency. It's just that people cannot get away with murder anymore. That's how we have to reset our minds. So that we have to deal with corruption. And as Domnovo has said, the only way to deal with corruption is to make sure that corruption doesn't pay. That's why he told the Chinese example of the minister who had been held. Corruption shouldn't pay.
The former Minister of Agric of China was found guilty of collecting bribe and awarding contracts, etc., to the tune of about $38 million. What did they do? The most impressive thing about it is that the trial was within 3 months or so. In Ghana, this will have remained in court for God knows how long. At times, some of the cases, until Jesus comes, they are never going to finish. Within 3 months or 4, they had finished the trial. When the gentleman was found guilty, he was sentenced to death. He was sentenced to death, and then they gave him a reprieve to say, look, gentleman, you have 2 years. If you want to leave, refund not just the 38 million, but all your assets, give it to us, because we assume you stole all of them, so we will take all your assets. But if after 2 years you realize that you have not done that, we will go and sentence you or and kill you or whatever they will do to you to take your life. So that is when they are making corruption unattractive. Otherwise, it is like kid glove. You are treating people with kid gloves, and we don't even want to call it theft. It is only when somebody takes $2 Ghana cedis or 10 Ghana cedis from somebody's shop or in the house. Oh, it's a thief. But these big ones who are still, we don't even want to call it theft. We say misappropriation and whatnot.
Leakages.
Yes.
There are some leakages there.
Exactly. So that is my worry.
Folks, we should start moving away from this mentality that when you are big and you have money and you are powerful, you can be corrupt. And then the justice finally will grind slowly. When they caught this guy who was wearing a military fatigue and they sentenced him and he couldn't pay the money, the look was saying, is it 3 years? 3 years. So, Soldier for he was wearing military fatigue. 3 years in jail.